Lot of homemade food. Asha.
Jay's retirement party with the office.
Peanuts and
Okay.
that's Asha. Both of them are Asha. That's my niece.
Hi Lisa. How are you?
I'm so glad to see you.
Glad to see you.
We're gonna miss our buddy.
Yeah.
Can I sit by you?
Oh yeah.
Hello. Nice.
It's nice to meet you.
to
I've
meet
heard
you.
so much about you over the years.
Oh, thank you.
Count.
The quinoa. They are.
I want to catch you. You're riding, huh?
Who made the quinoa? Yeah, that's what I want to know. Who made the quinoa? Who made the quinoa? Delicious. Delicious.
Okay. Idri?
We're gonna have to take him home kicking and fighting.
Glad to keep you.
My family wanted to come. They wanted to make sure that I retired. That's why everybody there.
Yeah, see, the
No
proof that
kidding.
he's really doing it.
Let me make sure.
Pry his fingers from the door.
What do you want?
Is this where you're shoving inside his face? Oh, no, that's the wedding.
I don't know my phone.
Too bad it. Oh, I think we'll have plenty.
Jay, is it chocolate?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
I was doing that inside.
He's cutting an outside piece for you.
I love the icing, Jay. I love
Need
you.
it on two sides.
You know I love you.
I always loved you best.
I love you the most, Sergeant.
You can have it all.
Adana
That's good enough, I think it is. Help yourself.
Thank you. Yes, but when I get home, corner,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Double whammy.
Double banana. Yeah, you may have to cut in the middle, uncle, because
I'll make a small piece.
yeah, maybe. You can add that piece too.
You want both?
Yeah.
I don't, okay.
Yeah, if you think everybody can have it.
Anybody want two pieces?
Anybody want the lemon? Yes.
China.
Oh, okay.
There's a corner, Joy. It couldn't have really excited me. This way.
On.
Because,
I do enjoy it. Okay.
Surya Kashi.
you guys want to pick it?
Whoever wants it, they can cook it.
Oh, I know, this one I missed. It started raining and I'm thinking, but it's so weird. Did you go anymore?
Yeah, 1 spoon. Yeah.
Just the ones that are out there, Patricia's got.
Haven't forgotten that, have you? No. Save my soul.
That's what reminded me, saving silverware.
Sure. Here in here, if it does not match the reality of what actually happened, just keep your objections until I'm done.
Okay.
And then you can correct the record. Ms. Kalmat, I know you don't know this, but all of us here love Jay. Am I right? We are so going to miss him, and we couldn't have a better teammate to work with. He's pleasant, he's exceedingly polite and patient, he'll do whatever you ask of him, he's thorough, he never complains. Now, I can see by the expression on your face, you think I'm talking about somebody else. But I'm still talking about Jay. He's the guy that you want with him in a tight spot on a survey, and on top of all this, he's incredibly funny, and that makes him a delight to work with. A few years ago, there was a surveyor who worked here named Lynn Thornton, and she called Jay on his cell one time to ask a pharmacy question. Jay answered the question in his usual informative and thorough and polite way, and they passed a few pleasantries and then hung up. And what he failed to tell Lynn, and she didn't find out until much later, was that he was on vacation in India when she called, and it was 3 a.m. in the freaking morning. And anybody else in the room would have just hung up the phone. Jay brought some squash seeds back from India his mother gave him, and he planted them in Charlotte. And slugs kept eating the plants, and so he asked his teammates on survey what to do, and they told him, you need beer, because apparently slugs are attracted to the sugar, and then they get drunk and fall in it and die. And so Jay bought a bunch of beer and took it home and told his wife that they needed to drink it to get rid of it.
That's true,
I'm
huh?
not sure how that went over with Ms. Kalmat, and I'm not sure I want to know. Over the years, Darren and I have come up with some zany skits for special occasions, as you all know, but once we discovered how funny Jay was, all we had to do was figure out what crazy costume to put him in, and we knew it would bring down the house, and he was always game for it, couldn't wait to perform. Just this past Christmas at our holiday party, most of you know this, some of you don't. Gail, I know you don't know it. How could we forget it? He played the sumo wrestler Santa Claus, who was wider than he was tall. In a blow-up Santa Claus outfit. He was wearing sunglasses. He stepped out of that room right there with a strobe light on him and a smoke machine going. It doesn't get much better than that.
I've got pictures.
Almost, like when he played the good elf to my bad elf one Christmas and pranced happily around the room passing out presents. Or like when Donna Payne retired, some of you may remember her, and we told her that we had created a stylish new outfit that she could use to travel in, and we had hired a professional model to showcase the outfit, and Donna's face just lit up and she looked at the door, and then Jay pranced into the room wearing an outfit made entirely of plastic hotel room keys for a year. He took his roles very seriously. When he played Tricia, I think it was at your retirement party, Gail, in the skit, he asked some of the female surveyors if they thought he needed to shave his legs to be more convincing, as if we might confuse. His skills of acting and exaggeration often came in handy in his actual job. He had an accident in a state van one time when he hit a pole, and when Gail asked him how it happened, he said, "The pole just jumped out in front of him." I'm not sure Gail was taken in by that. Jay, we're going to miss you, and it won't be the same around here without you. You've been a great team player. You've made innumerable sacrifices for the nursing home residents of North Carolina, and you've given them and us a decade of your professional life, and for that we're grateful, and it's something that you should be proud of. And as a token of its appreciation, the state awards you this certificate of retirement.
It's framed so nice.
It is framed so nicely.
Camera ಕೊಡು.
Thank
ಅದು
you.
ಇದು ತೆಗಿಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ
Stand.
There you go.
There.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, here, open this card first.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. This from all these staff members. Oh.
You don't need to read it now, Jay. Just set it down. Now open this card. That's the card that you want to open.
Wow. Oh, look at that.
We took up a
wonderful.
little contribution for you, and got some crisp $100 bills for you. And we know that one of the things that you want to do when you retire is to travel. And you've always been, you and your wife have always been big travelers, and we took up this collection in hopes that that would get you started with some of the incidentals for it. And we also have this gift for you that we hope is going to help with traveling.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Wow, look at this. That's good. Thank you.
There's just one more story I want to tell, and then everybody else can jump in and you can tell yours. When Jay went to India on vacation a few years ago, there was a volcano in Iceland that erupted. You may remember this. And there was an ash cloud that went all across Europe and Asia. And so it stranded all these planes. It couldn't fly because the jets couldn't work in the ash in the air. And Jay was on vacation and trying to get home, and we kept getting messages from Jay as they rerouted him from one airport to another, literally all over the world. And he eventually ended up in Beijing, China, before he could find a flight home. So Jay, I just wanted to say that from now on, whenever you get stranded, no matter where it is, if it's in Beijing or Bangkok or Singapore or Hong Kong or even New York City, we want you to remember that you do not have a job that you have to get back to, and that being stranded is no longer a problem, it's an opportunity. So we know that you will take that. And I would like to propose a toast to, I'll use his real name, Jay Kalmat surveyor extraordinaire, good friend to us all. Best wishes for you and your wife in the future.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you, everybody.
Did you want to say anything, Jay?
I just wanted to add on the Beijing trip.
Here are the corrections.
We were in Dubai, I think. So that's where we were supposed to catch the flight from Dubai to Washington, D.C. So we boarded the plane. So I was all, because Gail was waiting for me because the following week was the survey. And no, and 2 hours we are sitting in the plane, and they said the ashes are all over, and it has been rerouted, and 50% of the passengers have to get down, and nobody wanted to volunteer. So they made a decision, and then they unloaded everybody, and they said till tomorrow the plane won't go anywhere. So I had to talk to Gail. I'm stuck here. I'm not coming back yet. So then next day we go to the flight again because they took 50% of the passengers. So they had their own selection criteria. And next day when we went back to the airport, they said half the passengers are going in this flight. The other half is being rerouted to Shanghai, China. I said, fine, yeah, that's good. Let me extend my vacation. So they took us to China. So we stayed back in China for one more day. And then we went around the globe. So that's why it was such a...
Did you make the survey?
No. I had to call her back again. I'm not coming there.
Maybe forgot.
The love and affection which all of you have shown. And I'm going to miss everybody and every part of this survey. And actually when I started talking about retirement, my wife said, "You are going to retire? Don't retire." She said, because I don't know how everyone handles you in the survey, I can't handle you. So that's why I was postponing, okay, a couple more months. Finally, I had to give her an underwriting that I will never enter the kitchen. So I will stay in my office, that's it. So then she permitted. And they wanted to make sure that I am retiring. That's why everyone is here, to make sure that I am retiring.
I can't believe this day has finally come. God, you have been a pain in my side for the last 7 years. It's all about me. Man, when is this man ever going to retire? As you all know, it couldn't be further from the truth. This man is the most gracious, giving man. Every time I picked up the phone and called him over the past 7 years to do, and it was weekly basis, Jay, can you? Jay, will you? He always responded back, yes, I can and I will. Jay, your loss is tremendous to this organization. I don't know if any of us fully realize that until next week when we start because you were always the go-to man. Last week, we had him on a survey on Tuesday. Tuesday came, Jay, can you possibly get done with your work and go on a survey on Wednesday? Yes. On Wednesday, another 2-day complaint came in. Had to make another call. Jay, could you possibly get done on that survey and go to this one on Thursday? Yes. And that was just a microcosm of my 7 years of being your supervisor. You've been tremendous, and we can't thank you enough.
Thank you, Darren. Whenever I asked for any kind of time off, and I was never refused. So in return, I never refused any survey. So keep going for it.
We always live vicariously through your travels, that's why. That
was the disclaimer there. That was the only time he could get off is if he asked for it. I would look at his time vows at the end of the month and feel guilty. He'd have 120, 130 hours of survey time. And I would say, oh, we can't do this to him again, but daggone if I didn't do it again to you the coming month. Thank you, Jay.
You have been such a great help to me.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And I don't know if you remember this, Jay, but we were out of town. I think we were close to Murphy or something. You had just started, and Norma and Hazel and a bunch of us were around this table, and Jay was just talking up a storm, you know, da-da-da-da-da, and Hazel and Norma, who are from the South, would just, I looked over, I said, you guys don't understand a word he's saying, do you? No. So I said, Jay, you have to slow down and talk slowly for the South now. Do you remember
I
that?
remember that. And the only translator in the whole crowd was Joy. She happened to
He'd
be
say
from
something, I tell him what he said.
she happened to be from Ohio, so she knew what speed I go.
Oh,
Oh, that is so nice.
If you look close, you can see them in there in the midst
Oh,
of it.
yeah.
that's really nice.
Thank you for giving to, what does that say across the top there?
We went to Columbia with Bob and I.
Yeah, that's the Columbia ship.
Shayla,
Yeah.
carrying around peanut butter sandwiches in her bag the whole time. Because they weren't sure how to feed vegetarians, and they just didn't. So thank goodness she had peanut butter sandwiches in her bag.
Oh, that's good. You can leave. Can't read. Who gave this card? Oh, I need my glasses. That's why I'm retiring. See?
Who is it?
I miss your joy.
It's from me.
Yeah. I had a hard, you know,
Anymore.
I had a hard time reading with that. Jay, I didn't send my card myself. You know, every year Norma would call me because Joy and Jay in her cell phone, it's one below the other. She would call me, Joy, where are you? So I thought I'm coming to the same situation now. Thank you, Joy.
Well, this is to help you travel too.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, a lot of travels.
What is he doing? Tell him to rip the paper off.
You got it. Wow.
It's in case he wants to stay in the United States. Is he the giant bowl of yarn?
Is that the Cargans in Alliance, Nebraska?
It might be his own.
Might be.
Maybe he's stopping me.
Thank you. So in Charlotte, somebody came from Black Mountain, and the team in when we were surveying in Charlotte, they said, "Follow Jay. He'll show you 85 how to get back."
Oh, yeah.
She
I
followed
heard
me.
about that later.
I told her I'm as soon as we go near to the 85, you take 85 south, I take 85 north. So she followed me, and then she didn't see north south, I guess. So she followed me. She followed me north of 85, and we keep going. I just keep waving at her, go that side, and she keeps waving. Okay, I'm coming. I'm coming just behind you.
Don't tell me it was true.
Donna.
Okay.
I want to. And then I took the university exit, and still she is behind me.
Is that one of the surveyors you brought to dinner? Oh.
Then suddenly she realized, oh, this is not the direction I have to go that side.